Hey everyone, my name is Walter, and we're here once again to read some stories. Looks like a lot of people from my old channel have made it over here, and I'd like to thank you all for 2,988 subscribers. Shoutouts to Boogie, I guess. With that out of the way, today we're going to Reddit Today I Fucked Up. The best place to tell the story about how you fucked up today, or any given day, of course. Let's just begin with Today I Fucked Up, Errors in Judgment. As stated, these stories are from this subreddit. Alright. Today I fucked up. I stole porno magazines from my dad, broke a key, got super glue on my teeth, and got caught. Obligatory this didn't happen today, but happened 17 years ago to the day and nearly to the hour. Anybody that knows me has heard me tell this story, but I have no shame. This happened 17 years ago when I was a young, budding 13-year-old who had just taken an interest in girls of the female body. I had unwittingly walked in on my dad watching porn on our basement TV. I didn't see him beating it or anything, I just caught a glimpse of the video before he yelled at me to go back upstairs. So begins my quest to find the porn. Over the next couple of weeks I looked everywhere in the house, in the basement, in all the totes with his power tools, bathroom cupboards, etc., and I couldn't find a damn thing. I did find my dad's weed stash though, so that was neat. Over the course of looking for the porn stash, I kept seeing this key on this particular keychain. It was a rather unassuming thing, but was very specific as to what it went to. It was a key attached to this little plastic shirt-looking doodad. A hair bit of backstory. Growing up, we had this cabinet that we kept our VHS movies in. It was a little thing, double door, and held about 3 small shelves of movies with room for a single row of movies on each door. This cabinet was ever present during my childhood. We didn't have much, but this thing held all the movies we owned. When my parents had finally saved up money and bought this little house out in the middle of BFE, Kansas, the cabinet disappeared. I thought nothing of it at the time. Fast forward a year and me finally taking note of the key. We hardly ever locked the cabinet, but it did have a lock, and this key on this particular key ring was always in the lock. Then I remembered when my sister and I had snuck a look at our Christmas presents the winter before that, I saw the cabinet in my parents' closet. Holy shit, the one place I hadn't looked, the closet. Me being a genius, I didn't take the key but went and checked the closet, and sure enough, no pornos. But my dad, who worked nights, caught me in the closet and chewed my ass out for being in their room, and specifically in their closet. After that, the key disappeared for a few weeks. I tried to locate the thing but couldn't find it. But one day, the old man slipped up and the key was left out on the office table next to a pack of Marlboro Reds. I snatched that bastard up and snuck into my parents' closet. Sure enough, there stood the cabinet, all vulnerable and awaiting a good unlocking. I swear it felt like an Indiana Jones movie. The clothes parted, a single ray of light from the 60-watt bulb shone on the lock, and the sound of a pounding heartbeat filled my ears as I put the key into the lock and turned. A cold feeling of disappointment washed over me when the key wouldn't turn. Then I noticed an issue. I don't know why or how I didn't notice it before. The key was bent just far enough away from the base that all the teeth couldn't go in. I never discovered if this was a 200 IQ move from my dad to deter me, but deter me it did not. I bent that key in the lock, and sure enough, it unlocked the cabinet. The angels sang, and a golden light came from the cabinet as I opened it. Sure enough, I found the holy grail of porn. The cabinet was lined with magazines and videos. I had to take a deep breath before I took anything, but I snatched a magazine. Now, me being a super smart kid with a dad that would beat my ass raw, I had to cover my tracks. So I locked the cabinet, rebent the key, and returned the key to where I found it, exactly in the same position and orientation that I found it in. One magazine wouldn't satisfy me though. So near every night I swapped out magazines until a terrible thing happened. When I was going to lock the cabinet after my latest heist, the damn key broke in the lock while I was bending it back into its bent position. A feeling of cold terror swept over me. My dad was going to kill me. I had to get the broken part of the key out of the lock and fast. I had about 2 hours or so until my dad got up for work. So I tried everything I could think of. I tried pliers, a screwdriver to force it out, I took the door off and tried to shake it out, I took the lock off and tried to get it out, etc. All of them failed. Finally, I had a genius idea. I would put super glue on one end of the key and try to glue them together to get it out. The first attempt failed. I panicked and tried to pull the key out before the glue had dried. I tried again and again, letting it sit for a few minutes, but the key got stuck or the glue broke away each time. After a few attempts, there was so much glue on the lock and key that I couldn't try again. So me, being a super genius, tried to wash it off, which failed. I tried to chisel it off with a screwdriver, which didn't go very well. But this got enough of the glue off to try and retrieve the key again, which also failed. My last attempt was to try to bite or pull the glue off with my teeth. This ended terribly. I was able to get some of the glue off, but some of it hadn't quite dried well enough between attempts. So I got a bunch of super glue stuck to my teeth. I freaked out and went and got my little sister. She also freaked out, knowing my dad's wrath, and did the best she could. Try as she might, we could not get the glue or key out of the lock, nor could we get it off my teeth. Then my dad woke up. I panicked. I had rigged the cabinet shut with some string and a lot of determination. I was a dead man once my dad found the cabinet, but he didn't find it that night. I stayed up another hour or two trying to get the glue off my teeth and failed miserably. The next morning I got up and got ready for school. I wrote a letter to my dad explaining what I had found, confessed my sins, explained the cabinet and lock, and apologized. I left the letter and key on the counter and got on the school bus. I knew when I got home from school that day that hell would be waiting for me at home. My sister had already said her goodbyes to me. That whole day I was in fear with each bell between classes, knowing that each one signaled that the time of my execution was getting closer. The end of the day came and I got on the bus. I was having a meltdown panic attack all the way home. When I finally got home, I saw that both of my parents' cars were in the driveway. My mom was always at work at this time, so I knew that something bad was going to happen. I walk in the door and there stood both of my parents next to the counter. The moment was at hand. I hadn't said my prayers and it was all over. My dad told me that he was pissed when he found the glue-covered key and note. He then went on to say that he had never laughed so hard. At this point he was cracking up a bit, as when he saw the glue-covered lock. He then called me an idiot and threw a plastic bag at me, saying that it was about that time, to bring him what magazines or movies I had in my room, and to go to my room. In the bag there was a brand new Playboy magazine. So ends the day I didn't die. On a final note for closure, I still had glue on my teeth. Both of my parents almost died laughing. I had to go to a dentist who worked some whirring machinery voodoo and got the glue off of my teeth. One of my canines had the enamel almost entirely removed to get the glue off. I still bear that scar. TLDR, found my dad's porn stash in an old cabinet that was locked with a bent key. After some time taking magazines from it, the key broke in the lock. I tried to retrieve the broken part by gluing the two parts of the key together several times. A bunch of glue built up on the key. I tried to remove the glue by biting it off and ended up with super glue all over my teeth. I left a note explaining what happened and the key on the counter before school. When I got home, my dad gave me a Playboy and damn near died laughing when he saw the glue on my teeth. A dentist then murdered one of my canines getting the glue off. You know, I didn't do this when I was younger, but somehow it's pretty relatable just from having been 13 once. I mostly chose the story because it's well written and pretty entertaining. Let me know if you have any similar experiences. I would like to hear them. I like how everything that's supposed to fix things just ends up making it worse. I guess that's how it goes sometimes. Okay, I'm not at 10 minutes yet, so let's read a short story or two. Today I fucked up by bringing scat into a romantic moment. This happened earlier today. I'm currently visiting my partner in the US and we're staying at a hotel. I'm from the UK, so we don't get to visit each other very frequently, so as you can imagine, our visits are 80% mushy romantic moments, 20% me making a fool of myself to make her laugh. This morning was no exception. We decided to jump in the shower together while getting ready, and I decided to throw on some music. I hit my dance mix and put it on shuffle. We jumped into the shower and started doing our thing, getting cleaned up, etc. During the shower, we had a romantic moment where we found each other looking into each other's eyes, saying sweet things to one another, exchanging kisses, all that good stuff. Just at that moment, when we were locked in 100% romance mode, the playlist went to the next track. It was Scatman John's cover of Invisible Man. Mood instantly killed, and we couldn't stop laughing. In my defense, it's an absolute banger. TLDR, romantic moment ruined by Dead Man with a stammer. This one's great because the title is misleading. You're just expecting someone to take a shit the whole time. I'm glad they didn't, though. And it is a great song. One more story. Today I fucked up by caging my girlfriend on the balcony and nearly making her miss work. This happened like 30 minutes ago, and damn did I fuck up. My girlfriend and I have a little apartment with the living room and balcony at the street side of the house and the kitchen at the back side of the house. After breakfast, we usually go for a cig on the balcony. Today I was really tired and decided to skip breakfast at first, take my coffee, and head for the balcony. My girlfriend joined me after she ate some quick cereal. After one cig, I went back inside, my girlfriend staying outside. I went to the kitchen, had breakfast, watched some YouTube, cleaned the dishes, and after 1 hour I wanted to check if my girlfriend fell asleep on the couch or so, because I didn't hear anything from her. In general, when someone is still outside on the balcony, we just gently push the door so it closes, but we never turn the handle so that it actually closes. Except me. Today. When my girlfriend was outside. Without her phone. And me being in the kitchen while there was some construction outside, so she was sitting there for about an hour after her morning coffee and cigarette with like nothing to do at all. Let's just say I've never seen my girlfriend so furious in the about 2 years of our relationship. She quickly got ready for work and left. Help me. TLDR, locked my girlfriend out on the balcony and let her sit there for an hour without her phone. Yeah, that's definitely not a fuck up I'd want to deal with. Alright, that is about all the time I have for you today. I'm going to be gone for a couple days here, so most likely I won't be able to make videos. I could be wrong about that, but no promises. Gotta go on a bit of a vacation here. But thanks everyone for watching. If you like the content and would like more, remember to like, comment, subscribe, all of that. I kind of like the longer stories in this subreddit, so I'll probably come back here unless it does really poorly or something. Let me know if you like the new channel too. I've changed things up a bit, but it's not like I could just do the same thing forever. I will be doing more work on it, and I'd like to thank everyone for supporting me. Thanks to the people who show up for my shitty streams, thanks to my patrons, and thanks to the authors of these stories that I narrated. I'd have nothing to read otherwise. Have a great night, everyone, and try not to get super glue on your teeth. Sounds like a bad experience.